Ego Motive, the entrepreneurial organization. Building self-confidence. A true entrepreneur speaks with authority and certainty beyond reasonable doubt. This week, Granny Sue was addressing the issue of self-confidence. The Ego Motive members were caught off guard when Granny Sue asked them to give a 2-minute presentation on any given subject of their choice.
First of all, you're not allowed in public speaking or any kind of speaking to lean on the table. And secondly, you must keep the voice up even to the very end of the sentence. More important at the end than it is in the beginning and at the end. Can't let it drop. And everybody's getting overwhelmed by their inadequacy. We don't want you to feel inadequate. We want you to have a giggle. If you break down in the middle and start giggling, that's fine. Nobody minds. You're among friends. What are you talking about?
So we talk about Instagram.
Okay, off you go.
Instagram is a social media platform where individuals join and...
I can't hear. You have to, when you are doing public speaking, you have to encompass the entire audience. You may start again. Okay, go.
Instagram is a social media platform where individuals join and post their pictures of like what they want to show to the world. And there's so many things you can do on Instagram, so many things you can find on Instagram.
I still can't hear you. There are plenty of people in the audience like me, maybe not as old as I am, but who can't hear all that well. Okay. Your talks and your plays, when you act in them, must be available to everybody, no matter how difficult their hearing is. So push it a bit. Off you go. Plenty of people gone. And we got the beginning.
You can find so many things on Instagram, like, for example, I found Ego Motive on Instagram. Nyasha DM'd me and he was like, yo, do you want to join us? I was like, yeah, sure. And here I am. Instagram, you can also like learn about news, what's currently happening. If you follow the right accounts, like the Shade Room, it keeps us up to date about celebrities and what's happening there, or many other ones that's talking about things that are happening in Syria or like politics. And there's obviously the cliches, you know, the slay queens, the power couple, the gypsies who like traveling, that maybe like encourage other people to copy them and not be their own person, which is also a disadvantage for Instagram because it creates cyberbullying and insecurities and yeah. But overall, Instagram to me is very helpful. I find really creative people and creative things, and I advise you all to just focus and like put your energy into right things on Instagram instead of the cliches and things that will make you uncomfortable about your own life and how you're living it.
All right, good. Okay, you haven't quite done up your 2 minutes though. You could have put more. And I counted like 6 times. Mm-hmm. There are alternatives to like it's such as or okay. So try to swiggle it around a bit and be a bit more forceful. You wanted to encourage me to use Instagram. Well, you didn't succeed. All right, next in line.
My topic is heartbreak.
Heartbreak. Yeah, don't rush it. All of you are rushing. Don't.
It hurt more than anything I've ever experienced. Do you want to know the reason why it hurt like that? Well, it was because I made him my world. He was my muse. You see, he was the air I breathed. The seas calmed me down, but his voice was even better. But do you know what he did to me? He took another girl in his arms in front of me, and he had the audacity to come and ask for my forgiveness straight afterwards. I took him back because I wanted love. I craved love. I craved his entire being for myself. But it happened again and again and again. Eventually, I got tired of loving him the way I did and not receiving the same love in return. So I walked out of that room and I never ever looked back. But it hurt. It felt like knives stabbing me constantly in my heart. But with the grace of this life and with the people I know, I moved on. And I can say I've never been happier.
Great speech. Wow. Very good. Beautifully presented. You should go to Rex Theatre. They'll give you a part in the next show. Yeah, we have. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Yeah, they have a class for 13 to 20s on Friday nights. Sherry, so yes, what are you talking about?
I'm going to be talking about utilizing your resources and living within your means.
Very nice subject.
Thank you. Earlier this year, I was going through Pinterest, and I was inspired by all the beautiful clothes and the beautiful accessories and the necklaces and the makeup and all the artificial nails that everyone had in their pictures. However, I know my allowance and my vice is ice cream, and ice cream every week wouldn't allow me to afford most of the things that I do want to buy, so I can, I suppose, improve my appearance. So I decided to come up with a few DIYs and little hacks to use instead of buying. So for example, instead of buying lipstick, you could eat mulberries. Your lips will be stained purple, and you can put Vaseline on top of it, and you have a shimmery lip gloss.
Yeah, great.
However, if you
Great.
want a matte lip gloss, you can put baby powder or cooking flour on your lips, and it will go matte. Instead of getting the artificial nails like the three lovely ladies have, you could grow your nails like I did this year.
Good.
It's not
Good for
allowed
you.
at school. So whenever you're walking, you should put your hands in your pockets so the teachers don't notice. Instead of buying new necklaces, you can get chains that are like chains from bicycles that are in the garage. Put them around your neck. It's very rustic.
Or a dog lead.
Or a dog lead, exactly. Like a choker for the spikes as well. Anything really, just as long as you're creative and sticking to yourself.
Your theme.
The theme.
Great, very nice. Very nice, confident lass there. And I don't think we need these two. I don't think we need to tell them much about confidence. You've made yours for you, and possibly the heartbreak made yours for you. I don't know. But in any case, you've made it, and you don't have to do anything now except practice what you want to do. I'd like you both to try a poem. We've got copies here. But for all of you who want to do a poem, I'm prepared to come, and I won't charge my friend here. If 4 of you want to do, I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes each, as long as you've done the work necessary. You know about marking your poem, up, down, quick, slow, loud, quiet, wiggly, carry on. If you're going to mark your poem, okay, write it out in longhand and mark it. Time yours. She's a great poetess, but she needs to be slowed down. And the big thing about poetry is you have to point the most difficult parts. I just pointed that word point, did you notice? I did it far too long. I wouldn't normally spend that much time pointing something. But anyway, that's what you have to do with your important words.
My name is Roxanne.
Oh, very nice name
Thank
too.
you.
Is that Shona, or you got it from the
It's
classics?
Latin. I think,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Roxana.
Yes. Okay. So I can talk about a person. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Inky Johnson is a man who was formerly a rugby player, and he stopped playing rugby in 2006. He had an injury, and so he started playing rugby when he was 7. That's all he believed in. And you can imagine that when you're 7 years and that's all you wanted, when you get an injury and you can't do anything about it, you start questioning, what am I going to do in life? Because that's all you wanted ever since when you were 7, right? So then people started telling him that, Inky, you know what? Even though you play rugby, you're good at talking. So why don't you become a motivational speaker? And then he started saying, no, that's not my calling. I know my calling was to play rugby. Because I was brought up in they call it the hood, right? So then we would play rugby in the streets, blood, sweat and tears, literally. He was bleeding all the time, what. And that was all that I wanted. So even though I lost my arm, I'm not going to give up. That's what he kept on telling himself. And then he discovered that, you know what, maybe I should actually go into motivational speaking. So he's all about believing that, what are you going to do when you think your calling is to do this, and then God says no, because he's also a Christian. So are you going to keep on believing in God and praying, or you're going to be like, since God's saying no, I'm going to let it go, because that's all I believed in, and now you let go of all your values or your beliefs because that's all you believed in. So now he's a motivational speaker, and he tells people that no matter what happens in life, never forget what you represent and what you believe.
My title is The Hate You Give.
The what?
The hate.
The hate.
Yes, you
Right.
give.
Get butter on.
Okay. Okay, so the hate you give messes up everyone, because you have most people saying history repeats itself, but then it doesn't, because the hate you give to people recreates it. An example is Hitler in 1898 wasn't born a murderer or a dictator, as they put it, but when he was put on his stage, the hate he got from the people around him messed him up, and then it molded him into the person he is. So the hate you give might seem normal to you because you're frustrated or you've had a bad day, but it could mess up someone's life. And the worst thing is that when you mess up someone's life, when they get to the top, they're going to do to others what was done to them. So we have a whole community of messed up people. So I just want to encourage you to think about what you're going to do, what you're going to say to people, because the hate you give messes up it.
Very good try. What are you talking about?
Girl empowerment.
Again?
Girl empowerment.
Girl
Empowerment.
empowerment, yes.
I feel like female empowerment is filling girls with power, conviction, confidence, and increasing their belief in their capabilities, complimenting each other too, saying you've got pretty eyes, you're perfect the way you are, whether you're big or small, tall or short, you're still beautiful. You should accept yourself the way you are. But in nowadays, you see the same people encouraging girl empowerment are the ones destroying it. Because you see on the adverts, they'll be telling you, please wear spandex pants to make your tummy small and have an hour figure class, which is that's now contradicting what girl empowerment is. So is girl empowerment really there, or it's a facade these days?
Good question. Good question. And who pays any attention to the adverts and what they tell you? Hands up, anybody who does? No. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Very good.
So today I'm going to be talking about the secret. Some might call it the secret to life, but I suggest you find the most appropriate words to give it a title. So this comes down to the issue of how our thoughts always eventually come about in our lives, and how this some sort mystically happens. And today this is what I'm going to be talking about. The first thing that we're supposed to know is that the universe always conspires to work in our favor. It always conspires to work according to what we are thinking. So if we're going to be thinking about the good stuff, about progress, we are attracting progress to ourselves. But then at the same time, if we start thinking negatively, we are only attracting negative things into our lives. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Buddha, or whatever other religion that's out there, you believing in something supernatural, or simply believing that there's a universe that can deliver, universe or God that can deliver anything that you ask upon to you, that's powerful. So what you have to do now is simple. You have to ask. Ask the universe, I want to be a successful person at the age of 25. Ask God, ask Jesus that I want to be a successful person at the age of 25. Ask Allah. Ask whatever other God that's there out there. And you find that as you ask, you have to believe, you have to drive yourself to have faith that this is going to happen. And now that you have set your goal, you have asked, and you have faith that it's definitely going to happen, you will see that in the space of time that is about to come, or that will come later on, you will finally achieve that goal.
That's your 2 minutes.
That's my
Well done. A motivational speaker in the band. Yeah, you will do very well as a motivational speaker.
Very nice.
Very nicely done.
Ego Motive, the entrepreneurial organization.